everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den and welcome to March. Wow, we're already in March. How about that? Wow, I can't believe we're already into the third month of the year. So this week we're going to be making, I should say building, well I guess we are building, this card. It's called an inside block card. So when it stands up we have this block in the middle here like this. So I just thought it was lovely. I did see this done by Jan B, but I didn't like her measurements at all. So I decided I was going to have a play with it, and I came up with some different measurements, and I just think it's a little bit better. But that's just me. We'll wait and see. Okay, so this is our card today. I'm going to be using a colour I don't actually really like very much, called Wild Wheat. It's one of the new in colours, and I'm going to be using this set here, which is called Heartfelt Hexagon, and I'm going to be using the Sending You Lots of Love and Hugs, and I hope your day is filled with joy. So, and also this little, like a bit of a fleur-de-lis thing. Okay, and that set comes with this beautiful punch, which is the hexagon shape punch. So, and I'm also going to be using this. This is new in the mini catalogue as well. It's called Mini Alphabet Dies, and it's, I'm going to have to pull that up because that's gone all wonky. Get up there, you. It's like, that's what you get. You get these accented ones, you know, some exclamations, question marks, and. So that's it, and I'll show you what size it is on this piece of paper. Just hang on a moment, let me pop that away, because I've already cut that out. So I've left it on the board so that you can actually see. And this comes out of a piece of card that measures 3 1/4 by 6 inches. So, and you get the whole lot. You get 2 A's, a 1 B, C and D, 2 E's, an F, G, 2 H's, 2 I's, J, K, 2 L's, M, 2 N's, 2 O's, P, Q, 2 R's, 2 S's, 2 T's, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So some of the letters that you use more of, you get more of. So, which is a really great idea, I think. Okay, let's pop that over there for now, because we don't need that either. And I will show you what we need for this card. And it's actually quite a lot of bits and pieces, believe it or not. So, anyway, let's start. Oh, there we go. Let's start at the very beginning. Alright, so we need a piece of card that measures 11 5/8 by 6 inches. Now, 11 5/8 means you've got to cut off 1/8 of an inch off of an A4 sheet. I wasn't going to try and do the 16ths because I thought, you know, this is just silly. So it's 11 5/8 by 6 inches. For the blocks that go in the middle, you're going to need 4 pieces in the same colour that measure 1 1/4 inches by 6 inches. For the front of your card, you're going to need a piece that measures 5 3/4 by 3 5/8. And a piece of DSP, which is from some retired stuff out of the Celebration catalogue, which I really love, so I'm going to be using it up, which is 5 1/2 by 3 3/8. For the inside of my card, you'll need 2 pieces, and they both measure the same, and these are 5 3/4 by 2 1/8, and the DSP to go on the top of them, which is 5 1/2 by 1 7/8 of an inch. For my blocks, I've got 8 pieces of card that measure 1 1/4 inches by 1 inch. Now, if you wanted to put another layer on the top instead of what I'm doing with the letters, you would have another piece that would measure 1 by 3/4 of an inch to go on the top of that. But these letters, I was going to do that, but these letters are just that tiny little too big to put another layer on, so I'm not going to do that. For my writing panel, which is on the very back of the card, let me show you that. That's on the very back of the card, like so. You will need a piece that measures 5 3/4 by 3 5/8 and 5 1/2 by 3 3/8 in your white for, or whatever colour you want to put for your stamping of your message. So that's all our pieces. So let's pop them over there, and I'm going to do all my scoring all at once. So let's bring all these in, and we're going to score on the long side of this card piece at, and I'm using the small ball, at 3 7/8 of an inch. And now you can either turn it around and do 3 7/8 of an inch again, or you can score it at 7 3/4. Alright, it depends on which way you feel more comfortable with. With these pieces here for our blocks, we're going to score these at 1 1/2, 3 and 4 1/2. And I'm going to do that on all 4 pieces. So that's 1 1/2, 3, 4 1/2. One more. Oh no, there's 2 more. 1 1/2, 3, 4 1/2. And the lucky last one, 1 1/2, 3, 4 1/2. Okay, you're also going to need a pencil and a ruler and an eraser for this project. So we're going to start by folding and burnishing our main card, and we're going to fold and burnish this really tightly down as a concertina fold. Making sure you've got them nice and neat and even on all 4 sides, I should say. Okay, so you can actually do your front first, or you can do that after. It doesn't really matter. So what we're going to do after, we're going to do our marking on this piece. So, oops. So we've got our mountain fold, and we're going to have valley fold. A valley fold is on the right hand side. So we're actually going to, and I'm going to actually do this on this board here, because I find it easier. So I'm going to pop this along here, and it doesn't matter where I pop it. So, and I'm going to mark this at the 1/8 of an inch mark, just there and just there. And I'm going to actually fold this back the opposite way, and I'm going to do this again, and I'll mark this at the 1/8 of an inch and 1/8 of an inch. Now I'm going to pop that 1/8 of an inch up to this line here, and I'm going to measure at 1 1/4 inches. There, oops, that's not in the 1 1/4 inch mark place. 1 1/4, and then 1/4, and then I'm going to do the same from the piece. So that on there, 1 1/4, 1/4. Now I'm going to bring that down to the 1/4 inch, the 1 inch mark, and I'm going to mark this at 1 1/4, 1/4. Bring that one down. Whoops. 1 1/4, 1/4. And that last one will then be a 1 1/4 inch mark. So we're going to do that on this one. So we've done the 1 1/4, 1/4. So we're going to bring that down 1 1/4, 1/4. 1 1/4, 1/4, and that last one will be a 1 1/4 inch mark. Well, it should be. There we go. There it is. Alright, so once I've done that, I just found this easier, but it's entirely up to you to, no, I didn't put that one obviously at 1/8 of an inch mark either, did I? Yes, well, just under. Alright, Okay, I just found this easier, and it's entirely up to you, but I just found it easier to just draw a line across on all of these, like so. I can cross the cork, I can then use my rubber to get rid of all of these afterwards. But I would much rather put them in, and I know that they are, everything is nice and straight. Oops, stand still. Okay, so I pop them lines across there like that. And I'm going to fold all of my, and burnish all of my blocks now on all three sides, all three pieces. So let's do that. I find folding it in half first, and then folding the other ones under. I can check whether they are all straight much better. Now, you could have done this beforehand. That doesn't really matter one way or the other, but I could have done 3 of these before I started even to this stage. But I didn't even think about it. How clever am I? Not today. Alright, so we've got all 4 of those done. So what we're now going to do is we're actually going to pop some glue. Let's see if my glue is going to work today. Get some bits off the top there. On one of these squares. And then we're going to pop this back up like this way, which is where it should be. And we're going to I'm holding it up in the air because I'll find it just that little bit easier to do. And I'm going to place it so that it lines up with that top line there right across, and it's just that tinsy bit away from the score line. Once you're happy with that, and this is going to come across without getting stuck, we're going to go on to the next one. So we're going to pop some glue onto the next one. And I'm going to line it up with that top line again. Okay, making sure that that's not going to go over there. And when I pop that down, it's in line with that mark over here. So we know that it's straight. And we know that's going to go like so. And we're going to move on to the next one and do the same again. Unfortunately, this is one of those parts that you can't do beforehand. Again, bringing that up, popping it on that line, close to the score line in the middle, but we're not going over it, so that we know that it's going to fold nicely. And we're going to do the last one the same way. By doing that, you're going to find that the spacing between all of these is just perfect, and you know that it's going to be in the right spot all the way along. Okay, so let's bring my bone folder and give them a nice squish down. Then we're going to fold them all in half like so. I'm going to turn it around this way only because it's easier for me. Making sure once again that they're still all lined up nicely. But sometimes they do move a little bit. Give them all a nice squish down again. And then I'm going to pop glue on all 4 of these squares. And then I'm going to bring this whole card over the top and then give it a nice squish down. Once we're happy with that, we can bring it open and then we can lay it flat this way so that we can give this a nice squish down this way, so we know that they're nice and even and they're all going to lay nice and flat onto the card. And while that's drying like that, we can now get in and remove our score lines, our drawn lines I should say, not our score lines. If you can see them just down the side there, you can get in there and just give them a bit of removing. But there was only the one that I could see, so alright, so oops, let's get rid of all that mess. You can still see those score lines just there. There we go. Oh, that one's a little bit, I can still see that one. And one just there. That's better. Okay, so that's our card and it's ready for everything. So I'm going to give this a nice press down like so. So that I know that it's nice and crisp. And there we have our main card. So we're going to start with the front panels, and I'm going to put my two front panels together. Like so. And then I'll just bring that in and glue my front panels onto the front of the card. Now, if you're like me and you've got a directional pattern, make sure that you get your direction of your pattern up the correct way. Now, these are colours I would never have put together. I would never have thought to put whaled wheat with Calypso coral, but I'll tell you what, because it's in here together, it goes together really, really well, and I like it. Now, you can either put these the same way, or you could turn them over if you wanted to. Well, I don't want to turn over, I think it's pretty bland on that side, so I'm going to use the same side of my designer series paper. We'll just do these and I will show you the other one again. Come here. So with my other card, this pattern here was the opposite side of this paper, and I thought, well, that just looked really nice on the inside there. But this one, I don't like the other side of that paper for this design. I'm not saying I don't like the other side of the paper, I do, but it's not, it doesn't go with this design very well. I don't think it does anyway. So I'm going to pop this one in here. And then my other one here. Okay, now I'm going to lay this flat again, and I'm going to pop all of these pieces on. So This is going to be one of them jobs that you can either watch me do it or you can move on and whiz forward to the next section. Come back. Don't be a runaway. Okay, so that's my panels in the middle done. Now because I'm going to put my letters on these, I'm going to do that now. So we are going to find my tongs and I'm going to put the same as I did last time with love. So I'm going to try and pull this up. So I'm going to pop my letters on. Oh, I've done that the wrong way around, haven't I? So on an I. Now I've got a little bit of glue showing on mine, so come here. Letters. Oops. T. H. L. Come on, L. O. Now what I did with the letters that were left over as well, I got myself a little pot and I just put them in because I thought, well, you know, maybe I will use them again in another project. I can always mix and match them. So that's what I did with them. So I didn't waste all those other letters. So I'll pop them over on the side because I will pop them in the pot with the others. Now I'll just give them a nice squish down, make sure they're nice and firm before we go on with the next section. Wow, doesn't that actually look quite effective, don't you think? My lighting's not real good here today, is it? Is that better? Oh, I think it might be a little bit better. So that's that part of the card done. Let's pop that bit in the rubbish bin and we'll work on our back section of our card. So on the back of my card, and I'm going to stamp in wild wheat. I had to actually open this one. I've had this one for nearly 12 months, would you believe, and I've only just opened it. That's how little I like this colour. And I'm going to put here, hope your day is filled with joy. So I'm going to just check that on a piece of scrap. If I've got a bit of scrap, anywhere. Here we go, a piece of scrap. to make sure it's okay. Yep, it's just a very juicy ink pad. Let's pop that back in the rubbish, and then I'm going to put my little, whatever it is, this is like a fleur-de-lis thing at the top. And at the bottom of it. There, that looks so cute. Let's see. Let's hope it's dried enough. While we're waiting for that to dry, I might just stamp the other bit for the front so that it's dried enough to, I'll just see whether that will go through that way. Yes, it will, so I don't need to waste any more than I have to. Oops. Okay, so let's pop that over there. We can now glue this one down. Pin in the glue. I don't know why, because I've got to glue it again. That was a bit dumb, wasn't it? Place that one onto the back of the card here. Because this card is quite thick here, it's a bit springy, so I would suggest once you've finished it, before you're ready to put it in the post, I would put something heavy on it for 24 hours just to help hold it down. But that's entirely up to you. It depends on how much time you've got as well. So I'm going to cut this out and pop this in the middle of the card on the front. At the present time, that's as far as my card's going to go, but I am thinking of putting some different things with it. So watch this space. I know I've got a fair few here, haven't I? Let's put a small one in the middle. Just hold it up, because I think that it needs just a little bit more than just this on the front. Oops, 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 I'm messing it up everywhere. So let's pop this onto the front of the card like so. And that's the card for a moment. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to switch you off, and then I'm gonna go and get what I thought I might do, and then I will pop the card back on again. Okay, I'm back again, and I have cut out these lovely pieces. Now they're out of a set called Notes of Nature. This is a bundle, and it comes with these beautiful dies like so. So I've just cut out those two. I've cut two of each in silver and in gold. So let's pop them out of the way, and let's bring this card back in and see which ones look the best. I think the gold looks the best, so we're going to go with the gold. Alright, so let's bring in my tweezers and get some glue onto these little leaves. Can you see what I'm doing? Putting leaves, little dobs of glue on the leaves, and just a bit down the stalk there. Now I'm actually going to pop him in there by hand. And I think I'll put the other one down the bottom here. Seems very quiet when I'm doing this, doesn't it? Okay, so let's pop that one down there. Come on, go in, go in, go in, go in, go in. That's better. And we'll pop this one next to it. Actually might put the silver one on top of it. No, the silver just doesn't go with it. Actually, I'm just going to leave it with those two, because I'm also going to put, I have some of this wild wheat ribbon here. So I'm going to pop some of this and make a nice bow with my bow maker. Come on, I need a little bit more. That's it. Over, under, round and bounce. That's better. I'll cut that off the same length, and then I can trim it after. Oops. So I'll bring them down, and I don't think we need them very long. So probably about the length of my thumb. And we just pop him on there like that. So where's my glue dots? Not my favourite thing to use, I must admit. I'm not a big glue dot fan. I never ever find that for me they do much. I mean, you have to use them for certain things, but I always think, you know, and I've got heaps of them anyway, so my mum used to use lots and lots of them, so once she no longer was crafting, before she passed away, everything came to me. So and I just have these lovely iridescent gems, and I'm just going to use the small ones, I think, these small ones. And I'm just going to put one up there. Well, what do you think? I know it's a bit of a long-winded one, but I actually really like it. I do think that that just sets it off. It really does. So what do you think? I hope you like that one. If you did, and you'd like the written tutorial for this card, please head over to Di's Den for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. There you'll find the link down below here. There you have to join if you wish to be part of the group if you're not already. You will also find all the information there for joining my team if you would like to join my team, if you would like to know more about the products used. Unfortunately, this paper here is retired because it is actually part of the celebration range, but the rest of the card and card stock are all available. So if I can help you in any way, don't hesitate to ask, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.